You're watching Project 380, and in this video I'm installing a dash cam and hardwiring it in. As one of the smaller cars on the road, the MX5 often gets missed in people's mirrors, and accidents do happen. So it's a really good idea to install a dash cam. This isn't going to prevent any accidents, but it can provide evidence in the case of an insurance claim. Dash cams like these are now becoming very affordable, and in the case of an insurance dispute, this could save a lot of time and money. So it makes sense to install one, just don't get caught doing anything stupid on it. There are many dash cams out there, but I've gone for the Nextbase 322, which in my opinion is a very good camera. You can connect it to your phone to download all the footage, and this one is compatible with a rear view camera. The only problem I've found with this particular camera is you do need a really good SD card, and on the box it does actually suggest the Nextbase one, which I've also purchased. I've fitted these for customers in the past, and they've said they can use their own SD card, and they always come back saying it's failed, and they end up buying the Nextbase one. And I've also purchased the hardwiring kit for it, but we'll get onto this in a little while. Inside the box you have almost everything you need to install the camera in the car but not hardwire it. The camera itself is nice and small, and the window mount is nice and easy to use. It simply magnetises on. We need to pick somewhere nice on the windscreen to mount the camera, ideally not obstructing your vision, like these air fresheners. You don't want it down low on the glass, you want it up nice and high. So the ideal place would be on the passenger side, between the glass and the rear view mirror. So let's get this glass really clean so we can stick the camera on it. Make sure the area that you're sticking it to is as clean as you could get it. You really only get one shot at this. So now it's time to peel off the backing and stick the dash cam in. And I'm sticking mine right there. Pop the SD card in and put the camera on the window mount. The camera comes with its own USB to cigarette lighter lead, but this looks ugly and is pretty impractical. So for a little bit extra, you could buy the hardwiring kit, which is designed to run behind all the panels and to a switched live. So the dash cam comes on when the car is on. So I think I'm going to tuck my wire in this little panel here, run down the A pillar and to the fuse box down here. It's a really good idea to start this kit at the USB end where it plugs into the camera. So I'm going to plug that in. That goes into the window mount. There's a little USB slot in there. And then neatly run that wire from there. Then you could go between this seal and the plastic, tucking it in the plastic as you go along. Remove the roof latch and hope these bolts don't strip out, and tuck the wire neatly up there. Make sure you put it in a position where it won't crush. Put the roof latch back in. Then we can run it down the A-pillar by gently pulling off this rubber trim. Gently prise the A-pillar trim away from the chassis and tuck the wire behind this trim all the way down behind the dashboard. Pop that trim back on. Now this part is going to be a little bit tricky to film, but what we want to do now is attach the anti-static device to the USB cable, and we need to connect this to a switched live. In the hardwire kit they do provide a piggyback fuse holder, so we can tap into a fuse underneath the dashboard, which is here on the UK model, and then tuck all this excess up behind the dash without interfering with the pedals or the steering wheel. So I'm going to take the positive wire and cut that down. Strip the end and connect the fuse holder. It did have a bullet connector on it, but I really wanted to get rid of all this excess wire. I've also gone ahead and shortened the earth cable and put a ring terminal on the end, as that needs to earth to the chassis, which if you look underneath the dash there is a little stud there, which if you clean it up is quite a good earth. Now to attach the piggyback fuse. If you pull off the fuse panel, you'll notice this one up the top here is the cigarette lighter. That comes on with the ignition, so that is a perfect fuse to use. I pulled that fuse out, which is a 15 amp, and that could be slotted right beside the other fuse in the piggyback fuse holder. Then this part can plug into the fuse box. Now with all that plugged in and earthed, all we've got to do is tie wrap all this excess wire out of the way, making sure it doesn't interfere with any of the pedals or the bonnet release. Everything's back together now, all the wires are nice and neatly tucked away, and as long as everything is wired in correctly, the dash cam should turn on with the ignition. And automatically start recording. It doesn't even look too unsightly from outside either. All that's left to do now is connect the dash cam to your phone. All phones are different, so I'm not going to show that, but all the instructions are in the box. But that is the dash cam all installed and hardwired in. If this video helped you install your dash cam, let me know in the comments down below. As per usual, like and share this video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.